So we talked a lot about what is a Mustang. An LDO or Chief Warrant Officer and an officer by appendix, and enlisted technician by heart. The most critical part of that creed, the LDO and CWO, upon receiving their commission, is I did it the hard way. There's no other commissioning path that you can take quite like it, and you're exactly right. We earned it. Right? I'd like to share with you a few statements that epitomize how we operate as engineering LDOs. This is not to be perceived as advice, but for you to reflect back on, and some of you have heard these before from me, and I just thought it would be appropriate that you could kind of put these in your toolbox and carry them along and reflect back on some of that. So being a responsible leader sometimes means pissing people off. So what do I mean by that? You know, it's very easy to say yes. Try it sometime. See how when you're talking to somebody and they're saying something you don't necessarily agree with, just agree and say yes and see how easy that is. But turn that around and decide, make the decision to have the fortitude to say no. No, I do not agree. No, that's not right. Okay? That's hard. And that's what we get paid to do. We get paid to make the hard decisions, to say no when no is the right answer, and to say yes when yes is the right answer. And when the captain says, execute, 2 bags full, carry on. Okay, so just kind of reflect back on that. And that comes from a term from a great leader, Mr. Colin Powell. Trust but verify. What a concept. You guys know I live by that. A lot of people perceive that as, well, he doesn't trust me. He's always checking behind me. Trust but verify. Okay, it'll take you a long way in the world. Failure is not an option. There's no option in failure. We can, we shall, and we will. And we'll find a way to get it done. There is no I in team. You're either part of the team and the resultant solution, or you are the problem. Bad news does not get better with time. Do not be the senior man or woman with the secret. Run that up the chain of command, carry it up the flagpole. The captain is paid big money to carry that responsibility. Let it go. It's not our job to bear that bad news and to carry that burden. It's not going to get better with time. It's only going to get worse. So just remember that. So I want to close by saying these are challenging times. And I'm not going to turn this into a political speech because we all know what's going on. But some of the things that are really hindering the Navy and the military in general, sequestration, logistics, we live that every day. It's killing us. Budget shortfalls, manning shortfalls, moral degradation. The moral compass that the Navy is guided by has gotten off course. We, every one of us, need to get that moral compass back in line, to get that moral compass back straight. It kills me and crushes me every day that I hear of a brother LDO or CWO that gets in trouble, that they get off of that moral compass and find themselves with the challenges. Long deployments. Man, you know a little bit about that, don't you, Ryder? So Ryder and about 14 other engineers from the Nassau come off of that deployment we talked about, come back for a few months, decommission to Nassau. They find themselves off the coast of North Carolina at Onslow Bay, boarding the baton to go out for a 10-month deployment. Ensign Ryder has never been on shore duty. Now, he did have an injury and was limited duty for a while and then came back to Nassau, but he was scheduled to go to shore duty as an instructor, but instead made ensign. 10 years in the Navy, never been on shore duty. And I can almost guarantee you he's not going to be on shore duty for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. As some of us can attest. I know, Randy. I'm sorry. I told you. I warned you. Okay. So as you go out to San Diego, it's going to be a great time out there. You're going to do great things on the Essex. And I can tell you, they need you. Okay. If the Essex needs you, you guys are going to have a great time. We live in an era where maintenance and the maintenance process is broken. Constantly changing schedules, more tasks and resources, long hours, more with less, political correctness, kinder, gentler, touchy-feely. We are a cross-section of a morally deficient society. All the while, we are led by a government that for the most part has never served in the military and clearly does not know or understand how we operate or what we require to be successful. Just some thoughts to think about. So why do we do this? With all the adversity and all of those things against us, why do we do this? It's a commitment that cannot be explained. It's a dedication and a drive and a desire and a burn that only we, those of us in the community, understand and fully understand. We've got to have it. We aspire to do great things, and it's what drives us. So ENS Ryder, hopefully I didn't disappoint, and if I did, oh well. I appreciate the honor. Clearly this is my great honor. I appreciate ENS Ryder asking me to do this. And I told you I wouldn't embarrass you too bad, so I tried not to. But the family, great to meet all of you guys. I know you're extremely proud. Ryder, I know you're going to go do great things, and I cannot wait, like a bunch of your other brother LDOs and warrants. We cannot wait to sit back and watch you as you go up the ranks. And hopefully one day you'll be standing where we're at and get that opportunity to be a big deck check. So congratulations.
Thank you, Commander Ben. Presenting Petty Officer Ryder's award is Commander A.J. Gennaro. Commander Gennaro previously served as Chief Engineer on board Baton during Petty Officer Ryder's tour. Petty Officer Ryder, front and center. Will the guests please rise? Military guests, attention to award. Department of the Navy. This is to certify that the Secretary of the Navy has awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, Gold Star in lieu of 4th award to Machinist Mate First Class Surface Warfare, Aviation Warfare, Scott D. Ryder, United States Navy. Professional achievement as aft main machinery room leading petty officer on board USS Baton from April 2011 to November 2013. His exceptional professional expertise and determination were highlighted by a successful 10.5-month surge deployment to 5th and 6th Fleet AORs, a compressed 4-month CNO availability, short fuse training cycle, and an in-serve inspection. Additionally, as lead electronic automatic boiler control systems technician, he led his division through critical voyage repairs to the starboard shaft stern tube, 1 Alpha and 1 Bravo main condensation pumps, and 1 Bravo main feed booster pump. His contributions attributed directly to Baton's highly successful completion of contractor and TICOM sea trials and an overall score of 95% during the light-off assessment. Petty Officer Ryder's exceptional professionalism, unrelenting perseverance, and loyal devotion to duty reflected great credit upon him and were in keeping with the highest tradition of the United States Naval Service. Signed, Captain George J. Vasilakis, Commanding Officer, USS Baton. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. DC-2, Edward Morrison, and DCC, Zach Rice, will now remove Petty Officer Ryder's first class devices, his jacket, and his garrison cap. Petty Officer Ryder's brother, Spencer, will now place the ensign shoulder boards. Father Philip and Mom Sheila will now put on his jacket. Brandy and Cameron will now put on the officer's cover. Captain Vasilakis will now administer the commissioning oath. Will the guests please rise? Military members, attention to the oath.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Scotty D. Ryder,
Solemnly affirm.
do solemnly reaffirm
Support the
support the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution and country of force directs, and I take this obligation freely without any mental reservations. So help me God.
Congratulations.
The guests please be seated. Ensign Ryder will now return his first salute as part of the Silver Dollar Salute tradition. The Silver Dollar Salute tradition. It is an honor tradition. A newly commissioned officer presents a brand new silver dollar to the first enlisted service member who salutes him or her. The exact origin of the custom is arguable, but it probably began before the United States Armed Forces were organized. British regiments stationed in colonial America brought with them a number of customs that were retained by the newly formed American Armed Forces. One status symbol highly sought by newly commissioned British officers was having a servant assigned to them. That servant would normally be an enlisted man responsible for ensuring the officer's kit, dress, and field uniforms and personal equipment were serviceable at all times. The enlisted man would also be responsible for teaching the officer the ship's history, its traditions, and its customs. This custom continued to grow with the British military and the newly formed American units. American second lieutenants in 1816 received a monthly base pay of $25, a $3 ration allowance, and a $1 allowance for an enlisted advisor. The advisor's pay was later discontinued, but the responsibility for teaching the newly commissioned officer continued. The present-day tradition of giving a silver dollar for the first salute is thought to have its roots in this very relationship. Senior Chief Machinist Mate, Surface Warfare, Air Warfare, Wayne Marksberry, front and center, please. Ray Tanat, Baton's Chief Engineer, will now present a gift to Ensign Ryder from USS Baton's Mustang Association. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Ensign Scotty Dean Ryder, the United States Navy's newest commissioned officer.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody for being here today. It's a big day. You can try as hard as you want to. Trust me, you do this, you ain't gonna make it. Now, everybody has a role as far as getting me to where I am. Everybody here has played a significant role, especially my family. Subordinates, friends, and superiors, and most importantly, my mentors. When it comes to my professional achievements, I do appreciate that. I'm not big on big speeches and long speeches, and I'm sure you're probably not good as commander over there. Outspoken, me. Really. You prep out a speech and you really don't even want to look at it when you talk up here. So I want to thank some of my individuals from my mentorship first. Senior Chief Mark Berry, my first salute. The reason he's my first salute is he's an outstanding chief. I learned a lot from him. And his standard made it harder for other chiefs to really get to that level with me. You know, he achieved a lot with me that nobody else would ever be able to do, and I appreciate it personally. Thank you. Senior Chief Bias, where you at? I know you're here somewhere. All right, he's the first one that really gave me a good shot at, getting in the fire. I'll put it to you like that. Say, hey, here's the responsibility, you take it, you make it what you do. And when he left, he got me trained up and let me down that acting journey for the last year and a half, as the acting chief, and that was a big deal for me. I took a lot of personal pride in that, and I had an outstanding division, and I'll get more into that later. But thank you, Senior Chief now, for helping me out. Eli Harlan, you here today? Eli? No, he didn't make it. He's underway? He's the only civilian on my list when it comes to professional helping me get from point A to point B. I know a lot of y'all know Eli Harlan. He was a retired Senior Chief BT. When I was going to make the decision, it was a very hard decision to go LDO versus the chief route, right? I knew I had a significant package. I knew I had a solid package. I knew I had a chance. Did it mean that I thought I was going to get picked up on first shot? No, I didn't. I truly didn't. But before I went to put that package in, I talked to Eli Harlan, retired Senior Chief, and I asked him, I said, hey, what do you think? And he gave me from a retired man's perspective of what is it that's important to you in life. Because 20 years from now, what you have is your family. And that was a big reason I made that decision. Because I felt if I had the ability to make the decision to do it now and better benefit my family, then it was time to go. I knew I had the ability to do the job. Eli Harlan, I know you're not here, but I appreciate all your insight. Matt Chief Butler, where you at? Oh, there he is. All right. He's Matt Chief Butler. There's one moment with Matt Chief Butler that I'll remember, probably till the day I die. We're in port in Suda Bay, probably one of the biggest work lists you can have in port, you know. And we're on deployment, and we all went out. We had a good time, you know. It was like, you know, port call. We got our work done. We went out. We had a blast. So I came back to a relatively good time. Well, a couple hours after I'm in my rack, I hear the door get kicked open. Boom! Everybody's awake. The whole berth. And the infamous words, "Somebody better shit me an ass LPO." I'm like, dang. That was about as subtle as a grenade in a barrel of fish, as Holiday would say. Where you at, Holiday? That's your saying. But no, Matthew Butler, he was real hard on me, but he made me better.